Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is another lighting chat night, and I have got my good friend Nick Airriess with me this evening. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, John. How you doing this evening, bud?
Hey, man, doing well, doing very, very well. It's been a while. We've been running crazy. We just haven't had a chance to get together, so I've been looking forward to our chats, and tonight I think I've got a topic for you.
All right, what do we got?
Well, I've been working on some different projects here, of course, and we're reaching a whole different audience with our podcast. So for those of you out there listening, if you're listening to the podcast, this is kind of a visual show, but we will describe things as we go. But I'm running into more younger DJs, and one of the questions that they come up with is, hey, how can we get into some, inexpensive gear so we can go and get some cool stuff without breaking the bank?
Sure.
And of course, that concept I think is going to fit really well into tonight's show.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. They've got to start, getting lights into their system, or the first time they buy a DJ mixer or whatever, where do they start? Where's a great place to go?
For sure. For sure. So tonight we're going to dig into some kind of entry level for the guys who are just getting, maybe dad bought them in the case of my teenage children, dad bought them a controller. They had their computer, and now they need some lights because their friends want them to do a party for them next week.
Perfect.
And I think this would be a great option. So let's jump in. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I'll start out with the Jam Pack Silver. Now, Jam stands for Just Add Music. And that's really, that's exactly what it is. It's a pack that'll give you a bunch of different lights that will kind of equip you for a small gig to start out. Obviously, these are start out kind of things, so the gigs aren't the biggest thing in the whole world, but they're still a great place to start. And the Jam Pack Silver is also a great place to start right here. So this is the pack as you buy it. It comes in a really nice little box. I wouldn't recommend carrying it around the box for too long. However, it does have a very nice little storage compartment in here, so you can actually keep all of the stuff in order and organized and everything.
Yeah.
That all comes nice and lined up here. So, and you can of course carry it around for a little bit in the box like that. But eventually, if you do start doing more gigs, you want to buy like a case or a crate or something to carry it around in.
Yeah, for sure.
So this kit comes with 3 lights.
Okay.
And the first set of that light is actually this guy. It's called a Moonflower effect. It's just a standard LED Moonflower.
There you go.
And what this has is it has a mirror with a tricolor LED in it, and it just makes a lot of really cool beams that are red, green, and blue out in the air. Real small, as you can see, there's a knob on the back that's got a microphone sensitivity as well as sorry, I'll turn it so you can read it.
There we go. Yep.
Got a microphone sensitivity back there. You got a spot for a DC power adapter to go in, and a small little microphone slot. So this guy is a great little light when it comes to making like aerial effects, or if you want to put a pattern up on a wall or something, which I'll show you in just a second here once we get them all out and unboxed.
Right.
The next light is kind of like a DJ bank. If you're familiar with those kind of lights.
Yeah.
For those that aren't, this is basically just a 3-color effect wash.
Okay.
You gotta think about it like 3 different colored LEDs, all coming out of different spots that you can control to make you do programs, sound active, set it to a specific color, whatever you want. So it gives you a nice little compact housing. You can see, I got pretty big hands, but this thing is tiny.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, cell phones used to be bigger than this. So, but anyway.
And yet the throw from something that size because of that LED technology is just incredible.
Right. And as we've talked about in the show before, it's all about the lenses. And the lenses in here are very nice and very, very, they cause the LED to be very, very bright. The same type of microphone and stuff on the back. You got your DC power input and your sound sensitivity. One thing that you got to notice about these guys, though, is that on the front, there's this little IR.
Oh, yeah. What is that now?
That little guy is how you control them.
Oh.
You can actually control them from an included IR remote that's inside the box.
Nice.
You got that there in just a second. So the last, definitely not least piece of this kit is this very narrow strobe light. I'll try and hold it all up. That's going to be difficult to see because it's pretty long. But as you can see, it's very tiny. It's not really big, and it's meant to be very compact and easy to carry.
How long is that, Nick? Is that a 14-inch?
It's about I think it's 18-inch.
Oh, okay, nice.
So it's a little bit bigger than a foot, but I'm pretty sure it's about 18 inches.
Okay.
But I don't have a ruler on me right now.
Sure.
So, but so and this one also, of course, has the microphone sensitivity on the back. I'll try and put it in
there. We go. Yeah.
Microphone sensitivity on the back. And you've got a couple other buttons there, and you've got a strobe and a UV. So the cool thing about this guy is it actually has UV LEDs as well as white LEDs. So it's a combo light that's a strobe and a UV light. So now you get 2 lights in one in a pack that's 3 in 1 or almost 4 in 1.
Right,
actually.
yeah.
So really cool stuff. One of the things that we did with this kit, we have the small external PSUs, which are the power supply units.
Okay.
Pull one out of the box here and we can put this bad boy down. Just put that anywhere. So these guys, one thing you got to think about is how you're going to end up using this thing. And these have maybe about 3 feet of length on them, and you'll be able to connect them to your units and have them run. But if you want to have all the units mounted in one place, you're going to want to get something like a electrical kind of splitter, like a power supply, not a power supply, but a power splitter. You can buy at any. I was going to show you one here, but then I have to yank it out of the wall. You want to buy like one of those little snake ones that has all the different edges on it. In fact, here I'll just move the camera down so we can show you really quick. See, I got this little guy right here that's got all these different outputs.
Oh, sure.
On it, and you can turn it on and off with a little switch there, and you can plug a whole bunch of stuff. And the reason these are nice is because you can actually take this and plug it in to all the outputs and use every single one.
Sure.
So you don't have to worry about losing the spots. Now that's only if you're going to have it in all of the units in one place. If you're going to scatter them around a room, which you can do, you definitely don't need to have that sort of a thing. So,
right, but boy,
just a little tip.
Yeah, having that outlet strip control or that ability there, and with those little extra 8-inch cords, really helps in that situation.
Indeed. So we're going to fire up the the Jam Pack Moonflower here really quick. So as you can see, it's a nice little display on the wall back there. It does some twists and turns and stuff.
Right.
I'm going to put a little tiny bit of fog in the room just so you can see what it does in air. Just a little bit of fog in the room. So as you can see, you get some really cool beams coming out of it.
Yeah.
Like that. Really cool effect light in the fog, but it also still looks really, really good on the wall. And of course, you can control all the colors. You can set it to specific colors if you want. And it has some preset colors in there as well as some custom ones. And you can add it strobe. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So it's kind of hard to see when it's strobing because the
camera
doesn't really pick it up.
Doesn't pick it up at all.
Pretty standard. Yep. So a nice rotation effect and really, really cool little light. It has just a small little tricolor LED in there. You're looking at probably about 6 watts for the tricolor LED. So it's pretty bright. But again, very small, very compact, and very, very powerful.
Now, how far is that back wall from your shoulder there where you had the light?
It's probably 6 feet.
So 6 feet. And it looked like it was about a good 3.5 feet, 4 foot wide pattern at that point.
Yeah, it gets pretty wide, and it definitely throws very far because of this big lens on the front.
Yeah.
That gives you a nice beam, so it shoots out, and it gives you a really cool effect even over a long distance. But again, that's where fog really comes in, and you really want to look at, if you want to go take it to the next level, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So
yeah, for sure.
So the next one, which is actually one of my favorites, is the DJ Bank. This light has been around forever. I mean, we've been using this type of light for a long time. In fact, way back with the we used to call it the color bank.
Yes,
it's got little bulbs in it and everything.
I think
that's where the same kind of pattern.
There's one sitting right over here.
You got one there, nice. But that's where this type of a look came from. Is from the bands and from the DJ setups and whatever. And you get some really cool patterns and stuff. And as you can see, it'll chase and do colors and stuff. If you want to set it to custom colors, you can just tell it from the remote. And you can have it be, cyan. You can have it be white where it's all on. And I'll light up the thing back behind me, and you can see it gives a fair amount of light back there.
Yeah.
But as you can see, since the colors are separate, they're not going to be quite as good as some of our tricolor pars and stuff like that. But again, these are meant to be very affordable and for entry level stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as you can see, you can do some cool patterns and stuff on the back wall there. My poster that I have back there is doing some fun stuff. But so yeah. Really cool, very compact, and very bright.
Yeah, so, for sure. For someone starting out, and say if you're going to be doing some backyard parties, or if you're going to do some maybe garage-type graduation parties, that little guy could illuminate a 2-car garage, I think, really quite easily.
Easily. So last but definitely not least is our UV strobe. Right now I got it actually strobing on white.
Yeah.
It's very bright. You can see it kind of lighting up the back behind me there, kind of. I've got a light on in the room right now, so it's not quite as bright as it could be in a dark room. And then if I turn off the strobe, you can actually do a constant white too. So this now just became a work light too.
Wow.
So you can actually use it as like a floodlight to be able to cover a space while you're setting up or whatever. So let's get a little UV in here. There's our UV. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but I tell you what, let me try shutting the light off in the room for a quick second.
Yeah.
All right, so I got the lights dimmed down in the room quite a bit, and then so here you can see we've got quite a bit of UV throw. You can see the poster behind me reacting.
Yeah.
I got some cool, artwork back there that's reacting to the UV. Mm-hmm. And of course, scary thing, you can see me in UV.
But that's the nicest tan I've seen you have in a long time.
Yeah, it's quite nice. So very, very powerful, very effective light. You've got 5 UV lights and 4 strobe lights. And they're SMD strobes. So they're very small and very compact on there. And again, I can't tell you, I can fit my entire hand around this thing. It's so small. So it's awesome.
Now, will that fixture get hot as a person's using it? Say if we turn it on, say full on with the white LEDs, will it get warm?
It does get warm. It doesn't get hot.
Okay.
The LEDs actually use the board on the inside there and then the actual housing of it to cool down. But there's just not enough of them, and they're not bright enough to really create a lot of heat. The same goes for any of these units. They really just don't get very hot. They're not driven to the level in which our bigger stuff is driven to, or like our slim pars, which actually just happen to have one right here, using it for a light. That one will get pretty warm if you run it on full blast. Mm-hmm. But it's mainly just those 9 LEDs or whatever, the 4 and the 5, they're not getting hot enough to really cause a lot of heat.
Sure.
One thing for you guys out there that are picking this kit up, when you first get the strobe, there is a cover over the glass that you want to pull away. It's blue. So just keep in mind that it keeps the glass nice and shiny and everything until you get it. I had a couple people already ask about that and just say, "Why is my strobe blue?" You gotta
peel the protective wrap off. So funny.
Yeah. So now we were just talking a little bit about fog.
Yeah.
And how you really need to. Some of these things look so much better when they're in fog.
Mm-hmm.
And we have another level of this kit.
Well, before we jump to that one, let's finish up on this one. Now, what kind of a price are we looking for that starting light show?
So the Jam Pack Silver, this whole kit, with the Moonflower, the DJ bank, and the UV LED strobe, and a IRC6 remote. You get a manual, some fun stickers, all that kind of stuff. In the box, it's $100, $99.99, and that's you'll find that everywhere for that price. So it's just a great deal, and it's a lot of stuff in one little package. Even the starting DJ can afford $100.
Oh, for sure. And that light show could do. I've done numerous events over the years that $100 light show right there could have easily. Last year I had 2 that it could have done the show and done it well.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're a great little system, and you just use the simple IRC6 remote to control the whole thing. It keeps it real nice and simple, and they all have sound activation. They all have auto programs, so you can kind of set it and forget it and do your thing and focus on DJing.
Oh, nice.
That's the key.
Nice. So. Yeah, that auto programming would be really, because then you can set it and just let it kind of go, and hands off.
Got it.
Very nice.
Hands off, dance off.
So that's cool. The silver. Now you said that you started to kind of allude to the next one before I caught you, and you said there's a gold level now also.
Yes. So the gold level really does take it to a whole new level. This one, we include a fog machine, a laser, the UV strobe, and a mini derby effect. Really, really cool. I've got that one here as well. I've actually been warming the fog machine up for a little bit, so we'll talk about that one first, just because we're going to need it for the other ones.
Sure.
So this right here is our Hurricane 700.
Okay.
It's actually the same fogger that we currently sell. It's a very small little 400-watt fogger. Mm-hmm. And this guy, it's a great little fogger. It comes with a bottle of fluid, so you're ready to rock as soon as you get it. it does a great amount of output for the entry level guy or girl. You know, I could probably, if I sat here, I could probably fill my apartment with fog with this thing because it is powerful enough to do that.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not good enough for the bigger venues. But that's the point. This is entry level.
Yeah, exactly.
The cool thing about this guy, it comes with little manual buttons, so you can put this up by your DJ station and put this down by a fan, or you can put it down on the ground so that the fog kind of comes out at people's feet. And as you can see, I mean, this guy does give out quite a bit of fog, so it's not by any means small.
Yeah.
So, and that's, if I keep doing that, I'm going to fill this room up with fog pretty darn quick. Yeah, so here's the kit that the whole thing comes in. It's a nice big blue box as well.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for this one. You got a lot of storage space in here, and you can keep all the units in here nice and safe. You'll find the H700 comes in a little box right here. It's like a secondary box for it. This guy will come with fluid. Comes with a power cord and the manual remote, of course. So you have everything you need to get this thing rocking right out of the box. You've got fluid. You've got your power cords, you got a remote, you're good.
Good to go.
The next part of the kit is this guy. This is the Mini Derby. This is actually a Derby light. You can see it's got all the nice lenses on the front.
Sure.
Really big, clean, nice lenses. You also, of course, have match my microphone here for a second. You have a hanging bracket, so you can hang it off of stuff if you want to. And, of course, it's got IR control, like the other stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep. See right there. And
the same sensitivity stuff on the back with the sound sensitivity and microphone. So you do have your auto and sound mode. And this guy is very, very bright. You're going to see that here in just a second. And it creates an awesome effect, some great beams with it as well.
Sure.
And, of course, the UV strobe, as we discussed already. Now, you notice this one has the blue cover on it.
Yes.
So it's still fresh, still new. Of course, John, my absolute most favorite thing comes with a laser, a little tiny thin laser. It's a little guy.
Yep.
All right, so put that bad boy down here, and we have this guy right here. So this laser actually does not work with the IRCU6 remote because we wanted to give you a little bit of extra control for it on the back. Now this guy has a microphone on it. It also has a sensitivity knob where you can change the actual speed of the motor. So, and I'll show you that in a second here with the patterns and how it moves. And then you can also change from music to just basic auto mode. So you'll be able to go music or just auto if you don't want to have it affected by music.
Sure.
So we'll start that out here and with the laser because it's my favorite. And there we go. So you got a lot of dots and patterns back there, very bright. And as you can see, you can kind of change the speed in which it rotates a little bit. Now I'm kind of showing half of it there.
Am I seeing 3 colors there?
You're seeing 2 colors.
Really?
It's actually red and green.
Okay.
Yep, we have a red and green laser built into it.
It looked like it.
That's all.
Yeah, it was looking like an amber as it was spinning. So just red and green. Okay.
The red, yep, just red and green. So if we were to put some fog in the room, which I will try to do right now.
There it is.
So you can see you got some really cool beams coming out of there. You got it's a very, very bright laser. I honestly love little lasers like this because they're so powerful and they're so bright and they can do so much that they're awesome. So this guy, again, I have just the option of going sound or just manual. Now sound mode is going to give us actually lasers, kind of like a laser strobe. Whereas I tap the sound, it'll come on and blink.
Right. Yeah.
So as we increase the music in the room, it'll blink to the speed of the music.
Okay.
Which is really cool. So, but me personally, I just like to have lasers on all the time because that's me.
Yep.
Must be addicted to the radiation or something.
Yep.
So that guy comes in the kit, and then we have our very lovely Mini Derby. Now this is a hugely bright light. Now you can see it's covering a lot of the room right now. Wow. I can't even do it justice with the camera that I'm using right now.
Yeah.
So it is a crazy bright light. It is very, 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 very good in fog too. You get some really cool beams coming out of it and stuff. We'll keep doing some fog here and see if we can get it. There we go. So, and of course, with the IRC6 remote, you can control all the colors and everything on it. You can have it be just red, green, blue. You can do some combo colors. You can do all white. Just such a cool light, and it's so bright. That's the thing, because it's got these nice lenses on it and a really, really bright set of LEDs that are red, green, and blue. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So this is cool.
A great dance floor filling light, that's for sure.
Indeed. And it has it does have sound mode and auto mode like we discussed before. So if you do want to set it, forget it, you totally can. So, and then it's got some cool patterns back there. I don't think I have it on sound mode right now, but nope. Let's see. Sound mode.
There we go.
That's just me thumping on the case, though. It's not.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not making that noise.
It's not the. It doesn't work quite like the bass would on a song too.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
you can, again, from the IRC6 remote on all of these products, you can control the auto and the sound mode from the remote. So you can change it. You can, if you want to start out the party with just blue or just green or like cyan or whatever, you can do that. And then as the party goes on, you can add the sound mode in with the remote. So
yeah,
you can kind of be a beginner lighting designer with your IRC6 remote. It gives you that power. So that's really cool stuff. So yeah, that's the Jam Pack Gold.
So let's get to the part now. What kind of a price are we looking at for the gold unit?
There's the catch. Is what do you think we should pay for something like this?
Well, I was just thinking about that when I bought my first little laser, like a little bit physically larger than that. I paid $149 for that first laser. When I bought my first fogger, I believe I paid $199 for the first fogger. And let's see, for the first LED strip type UV, I believe I was probably around that $150 for that too. And that doesn't even get to the, I'm with the things we bought when we first started, I'm already at $500 or $600.
Yeah. So let me break it down. The H700 is going for about $50 online right now, right? 50 to 60, something like that. The laser, if you were to buy a min laser, you'd be looking at about $100, maybe a little bit more, because right now we sell them with batteries and stuff in them. If you wanted the Derby or something close to it, which would be like our mini Kinta, would be about $80. So you're looking, and this doesn't even include the UV strobe, and nobody really makes a light like that. So you have to buy a strobe light and a UV light.
Yeah.
So it's just adding up and adding up. This kit goes for $200. $199.99.
So, and now as we're looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, a really cool thing would be, getting to one, doing a few shows, and then can you invest and put the two of them together and use the same remote control to work all of them?
You definitely can. The only thing that you can't do that with is the fogger. The fogger actually has a little, it has an attached wired remote.
Right.
It's got that little green button on it or whatever. So you'd have to set the two remotes next to each other if you wanted to do that. Now you could pair the Jam Pack Silver with the Jam Pack Gold, because now you have a bunch of different types of lights.
Yeah.
And you have something that can be a nice dance floor wash. You have something that you've got a fogger, you got a laser, you got a Derby, you got a Moonflower.
Exactly.
And you have just a complete list of every light that's out there that you really need.
Oh, for sure.
So you put those two kits together, that's like $300, and you're rocking at that point.
Oh, exactly. Now you've moved from the garage type of an event. You can actually do a little bit larger, maybe a back room and a VFW or something.
Exactly.
And really have some nice coverage and a nice variety of lights, which is really kind of what a person needs.
Indeed.
And I'm a huge fan of the UV bars like that, because you can have those set and you can turn those on, especially even with teen dances. Two of those can be your light show for 80% of the night.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just a nice ambient look that you can kind of leave on the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So then times when you've got the beaming type effects going on, well, those are kind of filling in, so you never have that black dark floor or dance floor, which some people kind of get freaky when it's that dark.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some neat options. Very neat options. If people would like to find out more information about the silver or the gold, is there a spot that they can go check those out, Nick?
Absolutely. ChavetDJ.com. We've got all the information you need. We've got all the specs, the manuals, everything you'd need to get going on those things. If you do want to go out and buy them, just find a dealer near you and go for it.
And they're shipping, and they're out there right now.
Yeah. You bet.
Well, nice, because yeah, sometimes when we talk about these things at NAMM, it might be a little bit of time. So that's cool, because this is for the guys who are getting ready to do graduation parties. This could be a fabulous option.
Especially if you're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's some great stuff for those who are getting started, and I thank you, Nick, for your time tonight. And for those of you watching, if you watched, or I should say, if you listened to the podcast tonight, you might want to bump over to YouTube. You can go to the Disc Jockey News channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/discjockeynews, and you'll be able to see the video and actually see some of the lights in action, because, well, we tried to describe them a little bit, but you know, you can't do justice to say how cool lights are looking. So check that out. If you like the show, comments down below. Tell us what you like. Tell us if you questions or thoughts or comments. If you don't like, didn't like the show, well, we don't want to talk to you. That's just the way we. Once again, Nick, thank you very much for your time, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks, because we're going to be getting ready for the new stuff coming out this summer, hopefully pretty soon.
Indeed.
That sounds great. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV, and Nick Airriess from Show Bay DJ. Thanks for watching. Good night.